Hi, and welcome to another edition of Friday Footy Fix. We've got a special episode this week, Jake Burke, our top 5 moments of the season.
They're all special, aren't they, Chris? So every week we come out here and do our stuff.
Does this take 4? Or?
Something like that. But
It's been a long day.
Yeah, as you said, mate, round 18, last round of the year, we thought we'd mix it up a bit and have the 5 moments, I guess, that mattered on the field this year, the turning points, the defining moments, the things we'll look back on and kick us off with number 5.
Well, there's not much to play for this year, so we might as well come up with something different, I think, this round, I mean. Anyway, we'll go number 5. Who do you think it's going to be? Yeah,
look, obviously we've gone the shootout at Birrelea Park for number 5. Obviously something we'll, as I said before, we'll look back on in years to come.
Paddy Rose and Andy Carey, 20 goals.
21 goals, one
between them.
Yeah.
One behind. It's pretty incredible.
You know, I guess in a day and age where we just, talk about goal inaccuracy, guys like Travis Cloak and that spraying them everywhere, just to see 21...
A little bit more pressure on at the AFL level.
Perhaps, but 21-1, like, that's phenomenal. And that day I was there, they just did not look like missing. Something that we'll look back on in years to come, because it's not every day that something like that happens.
I listened to it on the radio and I couldn't believe my ears. Well, number 4. This is an interesting one too, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we've gone for Wangaratta or Albury in round 1. Now, look, you might go back and go, well, round 1, geez, it's a long way to go back, but it told the tale of 2 teams, I think. When Wangaratta were 53 points up, everyone thought Albury's gone, and Wangaratta, a side that was sort of, look, we expected to do similar to last year, but they looked like a premiership side then, and fast forward a quarter and a half later, Wangaratta's choked on the lead, and Albury's come back and shown that they're still going to be a force this year. Look,
a lot of people said that was the best half of footy they've seen this year, and Maggies haven't been able to produce it either for a half or for a full game, have they really, against top opposition?
Look, I'm sure they won't want to use it as an excuse for the 17 rounds they had to make up for it, but there's no doubt their confidence took a massive hit that night, and they haven't been the same since.
Number 3, I was all over this one, and it's across the road in the Maggies. You might want to put your earmuffs on for this one. Barry Hall joining the Hawks, and it was trumpeted as bigger than Bobby Rose, and hard to argue, even though he's only played 3 games. We'll play his 4th this weekend against the Tigers, but massive signing, and obviously comparable to the Fev signing at Yarra, and the Pigeons won't like that, but it's the truth.
Yeah, well, obviously, I guess the thing here is... football-wise, it probably was the moment that Wangaratta went from a side that was having a good year to a side that could win the premiership. I suppose a little bit of the gloss taken off, obviously, with Fev coming early in the year. It wasn't as unprecedented as you'd expect, and it was just another...
And then we had Tyconelli after,
and all that sort of stuff. But
he sort of was back in the background with these 2 other forwards. Stealing a limelight.
Yeah, but obviously probably any other year it would have been number 1. But
easily. Yep.
Two other moments that caught our eye that have superseded that.
Number 2, we've argued long and hard about this one, and you still think it's correct?
Yep, Myrtleford beating Albury. Now you might go, well, hang on, Barry Hall's playing for Rovers. What's one result? But I'll tell you what, the start of the year, I seriously mean this. As Longbow as it was, if you said to me at the start of the year, Barry Hall is going to play with Rovers, or Myrtleford's going to beat Albury, I would have said Barry Hall will play with Rovers. That's how unlikely.
I think that's bulled us, because it's easy to say in hindsight that Barry Hall's going to play for Rovers, isn't it now?
It's easy to say in hindsight. Myrtleford's beaten Albury. Obviously, the absolute powerhouse.
Early in the season, I do agree there was a defining moment. Don't know if it's better than Barry Hall joining the Rovers, but
look. This side, Albury, has been the best side in country Victoria for 3 years. This Myrtleford
not
team,
this year, it isn't.
Past 3 years, it's round 2 when it happened. This Myrtleford side, I'll tell you what, they would have struggled in most district competitions to win games. Like, that's the reality of it. They've come out.
I remember
the weekend.
How many district games have you been to?
Oh, a few. And I'll tell you what, the Myrtleford side wasn't too good, Chris. Albury, it's just unbelievable to think that happened. I remember the week we did Footy Fix, I picked Albury to win by 100 points, and I genuinely thought it had happened. Like, obviously, it's round 2. You look back now, you were just talking about hindsight. It's easy to say it now, but it was just at the time. We were speechless. The phones were going off tap, and one of the great things, I guess, to happen in this league for a while, I guess it just shows more of a mental thing. The side that had struggled for so long, it's the side that everyone had gone, oh, they're going to win it again, and they've beaten them, and it brought a bit of fresh life to the comp. Obviously, other sides, as you said, had gone on to beat
then, a round before that, and they weren't too good against Wang with it.
Well, that's, as you said, in hindsight, you can look back and say, well, this is why. But at the time, when it happened, I don't think there's been many bigger stories. Well, obviously, there's been one, and we'll get to him right now.
Well, no guessing what it is, and it's just 3 letters, really, Fev.
Yeah, exactly.
You could pick 20 moments that this bloke has been in the spotlight every minute since he's been here. He got a clearance to Glen Rowan. There was the massive hype of him playing at Easter, and then he had to escape a suspension to play against Barry Hall, and the Rovers would be thankful that he did, because they pocketed a lot of money out of that.
Yeah, different week, different story.
What's your highlight?
Oh, Well,
you know, he kicked a bag against Myrtleford. He put Wang to the sword. Was the last quarter,
yeah,
7 goals or something?
Last quarter. Look, I think when you look back on it, that quarter was just unbelievable. Wang was actually in front for 3 quarters there, and he single-handedly won that game. Aubrey kicking 10 goals, when you look at that, that's great. But he was, he wasn't really the difference that day. And then I think we'll look back on it. The best moment could still be to come. I think in the finals when it matters. This is what he came here to do.
And he loves the big stage, doesn't he?
So look, there's been countless moments. East, as we said, that was just unprecedented in this competition.
I remember we're sitting on the roof.
On the roof, we got perched up by Wally Breer there. Thanks for that. That was one of the best.
Couldn't move though, could you?
No, it was unbelievable.
National media attention, and imagine the grand final if Fev and Barry lined up against each other. Obviously, the Tigers, the Raiders, and the Panthers will have something to say about that.
I think the thing was after a few years where country footy was struggling, this is what put the O&M back on the map and will help start. Well, I don't, clubs would probably disagree, but I think there's no way Barry would have played at Rovers if, well, maybe, I don't know. It's just hard to see how it all would have eventuated the way it has if he hadn't have joined.
Yep, totally agree there. For the first time this episode.
It had to happen eventually, Chris.
Well, thanks for joining us for another edition of Friday Footy Fix. Should we even go to the games this week, last round? We should mention
third round.
I think we'll mention it.
Third round, Chris.
Wodonga, Wang, quickly. One
Wodonga.
Just a tip. Yarra, North Albury.
Yarra.
Mert, Raiders.
Raiders.
Rovers, Albury.
Rovers.
And Corolla Abbey.
Corolla.
Upset. All right, thanks for joining us for another edition of Friday Footy Fix. Don't forget all your latest news and headlines at portermail.com.au.